For this cat collage, you'll need quite a bit of paper. You can have any kinds. I have scrap paper. I found this shiny paper. Scrapbook paper works really nicely if you have it. If you don't, you can use regular paper and you can add your own designs to it. Create your own patterns with markers or crayons. Or you can even use magazines and pretty pictures like that that you can rip up. We're going to need a lot of fun paper. You'll also need a white piece of paper, cardstock if you have it, and a black piece of paper, which will be our background. Don't forget your glue stick, a marker, and you'll also need a cup, which I don't have shown here. Let's get started. First thing is with your cup, trace 2 circles. These will be for the cat eyes. Now, just to help me find the center, I'm using a pencil across both circles, and I'm lining it up and just adding a point on the ends and then inside, because I'm going to be changing the shape. And so from those points, or from the top of my circle, going to the point and back down to the bottom, you're going to turn your circles into football shapes. And color in those sides. The iris of a cat eye is really long, and so we're going to go down to a point and then up. And I'm going to actually add a circle, half circle, and come up. That's where the highlight of our eye is going to be. So again, on the other side. Once you've got that done, color in the pupils. Next up, we need some crayons to color in our eye. I want you to pick 3 analogous colors, so colors that are near each other on the color wheel, or colors that are close. So I have green, and yellow, I have blues, or I have the pinks and purple. You could also do orange or red, but pick 3 colors that are near each other. I'm going to use green. First thing, with my darkest color, I'm going to start going around the outermost part of the eye, making sure that all of my lines go in towards the middle. Before doing the second color, use a pencil to lightly, I even drew it too dark, draw a circle where you will keep the crayon out of that area. Then, with your next lightest color, your middle color, go again, but this time overlap them. If you have oil pastels, this is a great time to use oil pastels. The colors will blend really nicely together. Finally, finish up with your lightest color. Try not to get it too much on the pupil because you will see it. So do your best. Go around that space. If you need to erase it and kind of recolor it, that's fine. Remember, draw it lighter than I drew mine. All right, when you've done this, move on to the second eye. Pause here because I'm not going to show you when I'm doing it. Now for the nose. With a pencil, draw the shape of the nose. It's a curved line and then it's going to come in and it's kind of going to look like a mushroom. Outline it and fill in the nostrils. To color in your nose, you'll want two pinks, one light, one dark. I'm using pink and my red violet. Start with the red violet, go around the outside of the nose. I'm going to go around twice, one time pressing really hard, the second time much lighter with the red violet. Then I'll go over that with my pink. This next part is optional and just depends on whether or not you have paper with designs and patterns already on it. I am using regular paper and just really quickly showing you how you can add your own design to paper for this collage that we will then use for our cat. So here are a couple of quick ones. You can pause this video here and work on your own. Or you can use magazines, you can use pre-patterned paper. It really just depends what you have. So here are some examples and options. You don't need to do this step if you have a lot of other interesting paper already. When you've gathered all the paper you're going to use, whatever paper you found, newspaper would also be really great now that I think about it. Start tearing it up. You just want to create strips of paper. They do not have to be perfect strips. You can see here, this paper did not tear as easily. It just depends, but you want a lot of paper. So get to it. Pause here. Like I said, this is a lot of paper. Probably more than you need for one project, but I like a variety. When you have your paper, whatever you've chosen, you're going to begin gluing it in a circle around your black paper. So I'm starting and I'm overlapping my papers and they're kind of going past the edge of my black paper. And you'll see I just go around. Think about variety, think about patterns, right? So you don't want to just have one of the same all next to each other. Maybe you want to add a couple that are in a pattern and then you switch. Just fill your space. Think of the fur of a cat all around the face. This will definitely take you more time than mine in the video, so you can watch for a little bit to get the hang of it and then pause and work on your own. All right, this is what it should look like, roughly, when you're all done. Next step, cut out your eyes and nose. Glue them down. At this point, it's really important to flip your paper over and give it a massage in the back because there's so many pieces, we want to make sure everything is sticking. The last thing to do is to give it some details with a crayon. My metallic paper is a little bit tricky to go over, so go slow. You're going to do 2 U's. All right, see how it's a little different over the metallic paper? That's okay, right? And if you don't have metallic paper, it's going to be even easier for you. But once you've done the U, kind of give it a little bit of a scribble, a little bit of a zigzag to replicate the texture of the fur on their face. Next, you'll add a U for the bottom where their mouth is. Same thing, add some fur texture. Then the last thing is just some added shadows and fur texture around the tops of their eyes and around their nose. I almost forgot to mention whiskers. Cats need whiskers, so add a lot. There you have it, your paper collaged cat.